I am live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Tuesday live here on YouTube. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is Dulsa, and I am a pet psychic, animal psychic. I talk with animals both here and in spirit. And today, I am going to share with you tips on how to balance if you work from home or you have to go to work and you want to be able to can maintain and balance that connection with your animal. Hey, Deb, you're here. Hello, sweetie. Thumper the rabbit, also known AKA as Deb. So anyway, what I'd like to do, yes, this is Trek. I want to share with you some valuable tips to help you. And how did I come up with this subject? Well, every week I put in my community, I post a poll and I give different subject areas. And there's also a space for people to put in what they want to learn more about for my Tuesday lives. So when you go to my community page, make sure obviously subscribe to my channel and you will get notified when I post on the community, as well as, if I'm putting a poll there. Participate, because if there's something you want to learn about, put it in there when it's relevant to animals, how to connect with them deeper, how to talk with them, how to understand what they are experiencing in their life, how to better understand how you can support them, as well as how they can support you. But today we're going to, hey, Kristen, hello, sweetie, hello. I will be taking questions. I did have someone already send me an email, a question by email. So if she doesn't show up, it's okay. Her question's going to get answered. So what I want to start to do is, yes, you can post your questions here. After my presentation, I will address everyone's question. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Present. Let's see. How do I do this? Extra camera, video. Oh, share screen. I'm still learning this. I'm on StreamYard, so I'm still learning how to work StreamYard. Here we go. Okay. So today we're talking about how to balance work with your pets. And these are tips for working at home as well as if you work out of the house. The first thing I want to share with you, and this is so important, is that you have to understand that your animal or animals will pick up your stress level. So can they sense your stress? Absolutely. Animals are intuitive. We are intuitive beings. We're all sensuous beings. And being sensuous beings, we have the ability to tap in and use our intuition. Animals are innately, they just naturally use it. The flight or fright stage, they fight or they flight, they move away from something, they intuitively are responding. So for the purpose of today, you really have to understand, you have to be in check with your energies. So if you have guilt, if you feel anger, if you are frustrated, you need to first acknowledge that, embrace it so that you can start letting go of those. Because if you're holding on to, oh, I feel so guilty, I really want my animal to be with me, but they're in the other room and I can't touch them, I can't connect with them, and they're in the other room, they're going to pick up on that. So clear the slate, if you will. Clear the slate of letting go of all that. And that's why I'm presenting here. That's why I'm offering you tips on how to do that. And the first and foremost is to be aware of your energies. Okay. I'm gonna actually here we go. I can view. Oh, awesome. Okay. So now I can see if you want to make a comment while I'm doing the sharing of the screen, and I can see what's going on. This is awesome. So the next thing is you want to talk with your animals. You need to share with them the details. Yes, I work from home. Explain to them what you do at the computer. Okay, maybe you're not always on the computer. Maybe you're always on the phone. Maybe you're doing a combination of the computer and the phone. Maybe you work from a desk and you're writing. Doesn't matter. You need to give them, talk to them, and explain to them, show them what you're doing. Explain to them, why do you work? Well, I work because one, I'm passionate about it. I love doing what I do. I love helping, blah, 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 blah. You fill in the blanks. It also allows me, in exchange for what I'm passionate about, yes, I receive money and we can buy amazing dog treats, cat toys, whatever, bunny toys, extra things in the aquarium for my fish, for the fish. You get the picture. You also want to explain where. Obviously, you're in your office in your home. This is your office space. Now, do you move and work also in a different part of the house? Explain that to them. Yeah, sometimes I take the computer or laptop and go in the kitchen. Sometimes I work in the bedroom. Explain this. Give them all the details, because when you explain and talk with them, giving them all the details of the what, the why, the where, when you're working, they know time. They know clocks, because they know by when the sun rises and when the sun sets, and they know what happens in between those times. Explain to them what time you get ready and go to work, or what time you go into the office, or what time you decide after they've gone for their walk. You've had your cup of coffee, you've had your breakfast, they've had their breakfast. Then it's time to start working. And also how, meaning you want to give them the details of how you're doing this and the details of why you're doing it. Because when you start explaining all of the details of your work, again, we're talking about at home. The same thing will apply when we talk about when I go into, if you have to go and leave the house. But that's a different set of parameters, if you will. But the concept is the same. You are still talking with them and explaining them all the details. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. The first tip, that was Trek just running by. The first tip, I want to see if anybody is making any comments that I can see. Okay. What do I do when they just want attention? No. Okay. This is good. Deb, I'm going to be addressing that. So what you want to do so that you and they, both of you or all of you, are on the same page is the first tip you want to do is give them a job. Give them a job. Ask them one job is to be your companion. And you can set the time, say, for the next hour or for the next 2 hours or for the next 3 hours, whatever feels right for you. Allow them to be in your space. And you can see, I've already had conversations with Trek. Trek knows super early in the morning when I'm sitting at the computer, I'm not doing any videos. Also, sometimes I am doing a recording. He knows he can sit right on my lap and keep me company. And the reason why I do this is, one, because it feels great. I love it. And guess what? He loves it too. It allows us to bond deeper. And it makes my energy that much more vibrant, and I am more focused. And as I was putting together this presentation, this was this morning. I'm like, I just put this presentation together this morning. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll sit in your lab. You can do. I always ask, can I take a picture? Can I do a video with you? And he said, sure, why not? And here he is. But if you don't talk with your fur baby, feather baby, scale baby, whoever, yes, I'm talking about snakes. Yes, I'm talking about fish. Who's to say you can't push, and you'll see this, but who's to say you can't put your fish bowl right on your desk, right? Think outside the box, people. You don't have to think in the parameters. You think outside. But one job you can give them is to allow them to be right there with you. It will give you so much energy, and it'll keep you focused. Okay. So another aspect of giving them a job, all right? Well, what if they don't want to sit on my lap? Okay. If your desk is big enough, put a cat bed or a dog bed on your desk, or put it beside your desk. Again, be as though, think of yourself as you were them. feel what it feels like to be them. And they want to be in the space with you because you're inviting them in that space. So you also want to make it super, super comfortable. They don't always have to be on your lap. Although if that is something you open your heart to and you would like them to, they will. You just have to explain and give them the details and explain to them, hey, I'm going to give you a job. For the next half hour, as I'm sitting here at the desk at the computer, I would love for you to sit on my lap. I'd love for you to just sit by me, sit in your bed, rest in your bed. And that way, you're going to help me and I'm going to help you. Okay. Okay, for the larger animal, put a chair next to your desk. Okay, even for a smaller animal, put a chair next to your desk. I was like, wow, this is cool. So you don't want them, or you don't have enough space on your desk. Put them there so they can sit next to you. It's super, super easy, and they will be so grateful. All right, additional jobs. Whoops, I'm skipping here. Okay, there are some additional jobs here. Let's see. Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. All right. In your work, in your daily working. Now, whether you work 2 hours from home, all day from home, you have a schedule, right? So create a schedule with them. And when it's time where you need to take a break and they need a break, but you forget because you're so engrossed in what you're doing, give them the additional job. Hey, let me know when it's time to go outside, or let me know when it's time to take a break and play. Because guess what? You guys, you both need to move. All of you need to move. If we're sitting at our desks over an hour, that's way too long to be productive. And that's not healthy. You got to get up and move. Another thing that I didn't show a picture of is I have a desk where it elevates and lowers. It rises and it lowers. So for me, I'm either standing or I'm sitting. And if I'm standing sometimes, and I think you guys have seen videos where I'm holding somebody, they're like, yeah, I'll be in a video with you. Or if you're talking to somebody and I'm in a client meeting and they want me to hold them and they're here, I'm going to do that. Because that's being in the present moment. Learn to be in the present moment. But you can create the moments by first, but in the very beginning, as I explained, letting go of unwanted belief systems and low vibration and replace it with, of course, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm going to explain to them. I'm going to give them all the details of why I'm here at work, why I sit at a computer, or why I'm on the phone a lot, and why I'm taking notes, or why I'm filing. I get up and I move. I have a filing system. I have to get up and move. Give them all the details. Okay. So movement and giving them a job to remind you it's time to move. It's time to go outside. Yes, and that also includes lunch breaks. You guys got to eat. And is it always healthy to eat at your desk? No, it's not. So take advantage of your connection with your animal and allow them to remind you, I want a snack. And especially if they come to you and they're playing with a chewy bone, that like, I'm really hungry. Because your animals, when they get hungry, when they look at you and they are like, yeah, I need a snack or I'm hungry. Every time I get so excited, my nose starts running. So pardon me. Okay. So Another job. You work from home. Do you get deliveries? Do you have appointments coming over where then that appointment you go into a different room? And if you do, you need to explain that too as part of your job. Hey, maybe you're a massage therapist, right? Maybe you groom animals. Whatever. You need to explain to them, oh, that's the other room. And that's what, I help people, blah, blah, blah. You fill in the blanks, but give them all the details. In this other job, let them be on the lookout. Maybe you're expecting a delivery. Maybe you look for the mail every day. So let them alert you. Let them alert you. So if they leave your physical presence in the office and they're going to be going to the window, they're going to be letting you know either by meowing and coming back and telling you, or in this case, maybe your dog is barking at the window. They're telling you, hey, the delivery's here. Give them jobs. Super, super powerful. All right. Now, to stay connected, let me go back here. Okay. So, I'm going to answer some questions because then we're going to move on to if you have to go to work also. All right. What do I do when they just want my attention knowing I'm in the other room and want to be with me? Ooh, this is powerful. In my next slide, Deb, I'm going to address that. Thumper would chew on my wires. Thumper reminds me that I'm too long at the computer as he will come through the barrier. Yes. And so, Deb, what you need to do with Thumper is start your day with letting him know what you're going to be doing at the computer when you're walking into the office and how you can give him a job. Now, don't envision, oh my God, I hope he doesn't, chew on the wires while I'm giving him a job. Because guess what? He's going to chew on the wires. But you can give him a job of reminding you when it's time for a snack, right? Or reminding you've been sitting at the computer too long. He gets up and tries to, I don't know if he sits on your lap or there's a place on your desk he can hop onto, or there's a small stool he can sit on, but give him that option to come up to you. Or if he comes up by your leg, does he, have that ability to come into the room and come with you? Give him those options because you want to work with what he is flexible enough to work with. He's a bunny. So bunnies are different than dogs, right? In terms of their movement and their agility, where they can, although bunnies can hop, right? But you know what I'm trying to share with you when it comes to Thumper. Okay, let me go back to my Canvas screen. Okay, so to stay connected with your fur baby, and you have to leave and go out to work, you need to explain to them why you're getting ready for the day when you normally, maybe you're making a transition. Maybe you used to work at home, or maybe you have 3 days where you work from home and 2 days where you go elsewhere. You leave the house and go to work and do other things outside of the house. You need to explain to them. You need to tell them what days you are going to leave the house, what days you work from home. You need to give them the details of where are you going? What time are you leaving? Why are you getting ready? What time are you going to be getting ready? Oh, is that going to affect when they get to go out? Or is that going to affect their breakfast time? Or is that going to affect the other morning routine time when you normally are at home for work? Or when you're just at home, right? Details matter. Explain just like you were explaining for those that work from home. It's the same principle. Why you're leaving, where you're going, what you do at your job, who's at your job, the different personalities at your job. Share with them your day. Share with them your day. And here's what's really powerful. Just like when you're working from home and your fur baby's in, you're turning to them and you're checking in with them. Or you're just thinking about them because they're at the window, or they're doing it, or they're maybe taking a nap and you're feeling them and you're thinking about them. You're doing the same thing, only at your place of work. This is a good thing of multitasking. It's a good multitasking. So you don't want to just walk out of the house without talking with them. Because if you do, your fur baby is going to look at you like, where are you going? I don't know where you're going, which can create a level of anxiety. So picture to them. This is just an image I found. I was like, just picture them, what you're doing. You're sitting around, maybe with other people, or maybe you're not. Maybe you have a small area. Maybe you walk into an office space. Maybe you're a store manager and you work in a big store and you're meeting people all the time. And there's a gazillion products all around you. Explain that to them. Details consummate the whole. Okay. This is super important. And Deb, this applies even if you are not leaving the house. My animal freaks out every time I go out or leave the room. You have to pay attention to your thoughts, because if you have a feeling, oh my God, my animal feels like I'm abandoning them, or I'm leaving them alone. Those thoughts, I'm leaving them alone, that's a feeling of abandonment. What is it, sweetie? He says he has to go into the bathroom. Okay, you want to go in? Okay. There's something in there he wants. Anyway, you have to pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling and what images you have in your mind. Because if you're not aware of this, they could be reliving what you're thinking and feeling. Now, if they have feelings from the past, maybe they were abandoned, and you keep replaying their past in your mind, you're reliving it for them, so they're feeling anxious about it. As an animal communicator, I'm going to tell you right now, the animals that I've connected with that have had that experience, as soon as they share with me what their experience is, and I share with their human what's going on and why they keep that anxiety locked in, is because the human is aware of either something has happened where they felt abandoned, or they know the details of the abandonment, and that the human is replaying it in their mind. The human stops doing that and is staying in the present moment. The animal's fine. Whether the animal goes into another room, or whether the human has to go into another room, or the human is getting ready to go to work, the animal has no problem. So you really want to pay attention, because if you don't, you're going to be reinforcing the emotions and the energy of what it feels like to be abandoned. So to help them, and this helps them develop a sense of security and trust. Now, this is actually a screenshot from my 12 tips. I have a 12 tips on how to talk with your animals. It's in my link in my bio under freebies, dulsanea.com/freebies. I'll post it here too as well. So you'll have that under this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because there's some powerful other tips on how to talk with your animals outside of wanting to connect with them in the workspace, or if you're not physically with them. Okay, let me move on. All right. The other aspect of explaining to them that you are going somewhere for your job, explain to them what time you're leaving and what time you're coming home. They know time. You can say, hey, I'm going to be leaving as soon as you're done your breakfast, as soon as I'm done my coffee, I'm going to be, hitting the road, as they say. And the time that I'm coming home, I'll be home on your second meal, the second time you have your lunch, or the third time you eat, which is your dinner time. Because maybe somebody else at the house is feeding them their lunch, or maybe they only eat twice a day. You can use the clock with images with their meals. You can just use the clock also. I'll be home at 5 o'clock. And I guarantee you, when you start doing this, who is going to be at that door at 5:15 or 5:30 when it takes you, 20 minutes to get home? They're going to be at the door, whether dog, cat, bunny, doesn't matter. And the other thing too is at work, while you're at work. I didn't want to show that other one. While you're at work, check in with them. Just sit quietly. I hear you. I love you. Tell them how much you love them. You want to also give them a job. The same thing applies. Give your fur baby, where you're going to work, give them a job. Give them a job to look over the house. Give them the job if you have other animals, not just one, but 2 or 3 or 4. Give them all jobs based on their personality. Maybe one of the animals, one of the cats loves to oversee everybody. Well, let them do that. Give them a job. Be creative in giving them the jobs. Okay. All right. Here's another thing. Set up a mini cam. Animals know phones. Animals know camera. They do. But you have to explain to them what it is in terms of why you have it, where you're setting it up, so that they can go to the camera and say, hey, I'm here. I'm doing great. It's powerful. It is so powerful. So that's another idea. And then finally, if you're thinking about a doggy daycare or a kitty daycare, meaning taking them to that, you can do that. But again, you need to explain to them, and I know this is outside of the scope, but there's so many pet parents that feel that they need to do that because they want their animal to have human companionship as well as socialization with other animals. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's, kudos, because that's popular now. So my recommendation, if you do decide to do that, again, you need to explain this to your fur baby and let them know, hey, I'm considering doing this, and show them on the phone. Hey, look at this place. What do you think? And a really good center will allow you to just walk in with an appointment and bring your dog or your cat so that they can get a feel for it. Not that you're committing and saying, okay, I'm just dropping you off. No, don't do that. You really want to get, hey, we're going to check this out. It might be fun. Let's go see what it's like. So here is my 12 tips. You just go to dulsanea.com/freebies and you can download that. It's very, very powerful. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and the link will be below this video, so you don't have to worry about it. I think it's already there. Stop sharing my screen. Let's go back over here. Okay. So let's see. So Deb, I'm going to go back. That makes a lot of sense. Deb, did I answer your question? I'm so glad you guys are here. Did I answer your question, Deb? Hey, Bonna. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Shauna, how are you? Is this Shauna? Yes, it's Shauna. Yes. I never know your username. Let me see what this question is. Is it easier to connect with an animal than in spirit? Kristen, this is not part. It comes through the same. Actually, if you go to my TikTok, which I'll post the short video, I just did a TikTok video on that today before coming here. So if you want to go over to my TikTok account, because I haven't posted that short here yet, the information comes through. So it doesn't matter. But that's not relevant to this. Okay. Let me undo that. Let's see. Midnight, let's see. Midnight and Butter are watching over. Oh, everyone, thank you. Oh my God, that's so powerful. I'm so glad they're doing that. All right, let's see. Okay, Thumper, that's why you see dogs looking out the window all day waiting as were not told. Exactly. So if you've got a mini cam and you see your dog looking out the window all the time, you need to change your mindset. You need to now have a conversation and let them know, hey, I see you're looking out the window. Look out the window half hour before I'm coming home and wait for me there. In the meantime, give them a job. Give them something to do. They're going to be so grateful. Now they can let them be the watcher. Let them protect the house so that when they think someone or they know someone is coming to the door, let them bark all they want. When they leave, when the person who's at the door leaves, they stop barking. All right. Hey, Kristen, no worries. Yeah. So, yes, it's so powerful. Let me just share with you. Is it easier to connect with an animal than a spirit? It doesn't matter. Animals are energetic. Humans are energetic. We're all energetic beings. The information comes through whether the animal is physically here or in spirit, just to answer your question. I tell Midnight when I'm leaving the house, he will sit and cry at the door. He will sit and cry at the door if I don't. He is reminding you. He is pulling at your strings, if you will. He is so attuned to your energy, and he knows what gets your attention, and he's reminding you. And that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. I want you to also give Midnight a job. I want you to give Midnight a job. Oh my God. He's just showing me this. He's showing me that when the other cats can't find their toys, he goes and puts them in the basket. You have like a big basket of some sort. Let him do that. Let him put the toys in the basket. This is powerful. So super powerful. So, I want to still answer this question. I know I answered it, but she asks, if your fur babies are used to working from home, if your fur babies are used to you working from home, how do you prepare them if you begin to work away from home? You explain to them. You give them all the details. And this was Lori's question, Lori Ruby. You explain to them and give them all the details of what you're doing, why you're going, where you're going, what time you're leaving, why you're getting up super early, why you're picking out your special, maybe you have special clothes you wear, right? Maybe you're putting together a lunch. Explain to them why. Oh, it's for work. Explain to them. And that you are always connected with each other. You're going to be checking in. When you, for example, when you have a break, you're going to check in with them. You're just going to sit quietly and go, in this case, probably Pepper, right? Pepper, how are you, sweetie? I'm checking in with you. Give Pepper a job. Make sure you give Pepper a job. It's so, so important. So important. And explain to them when you get home, if you are around animals, thank you, Lori, for asking this question. Because if you do work with animals, this is so important. Maybe you work in a rescue center. Maybe you're a vet tech. Maybe you're a veterinarian. Maybe you're a groomer. It doesn't matter. Whatever capacity you work physically with animals, it is so important to explain to your animal or animals where you're going and that the scent they pick up from you, that's on your clothes when you get home, it's coming from other animals. And it doesn't mean that they're going to be walking and you're bringing them into the home. That's why it's important to explain to your animals what you do for a living, what you are passionate about, so that they don't have to worry or have any anxiety. Why am I smelling another dog, but I don't see this dog in the house? No, I don't understand. Explain to them. Here's another thing. Oh my God, this is so powerful. This is one of my readings I had many moons ago. The human always worked at a bar, and she came home smelling and reeking of alcohol and cigarette smoke. The cat freaked out and didn't want to be around her and didn't know when she was coming home. This cat had a lot of behavioral issues. When the human realized that she wasn't telling her and sharing with her all the details that I've gone over in this video, she realized, oh my God. Once she started doing that, the cat was like, this is cool, I get it. And the human made a conscious effort to bring fresh clothes. So she would change her clothes before leaving work, go into, and then drive home in fresh clothes. So that was important, and that made all the difference in the world. So, let's see, there's some other comments. All right. I tell Midnight. Okay, let's see. So Midnight helps me gather the other cats and my dogs for their dinner. He won't eat until they're all at their plates. It's his job. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Shauna, I want you to be super creative with the other animals and give everybody else their own job. You will be blown away at the synchronicity and the deeper connection that they all have with one another. Okay. All right. If there's no other questions that you all have, I want to thank you. I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds. If nobody else has any other questions, I've had 4 beautiful souls watching this live. If you're obviously watching the replay, put in your question in the comments and I will answer them. Yeah, Shauna, definitely do that. Definitely do that. And if there's other things that you would like for me to discuss, I have done free live readings here on my Tuesday lives. I'll be doing it again. I don't know if I'm doing it next Tuesday. I just go with the flow with what feels right, as well as in my community, whatever I post for the survey, if you will, of different topics. But if you have a specific topic you want me to talk about relevant to animal communication, relevant to healing modalities, I am a Reiki practitioner. I work with crystals, things like that. If you have questions about, hey, are animals receptive to that type of thing? Absolutely. And you want to know more about that? ask. I will do a video on it. I told Thumper I was going to my local shelter, so this time he wasn't upset with the smells. Beautiful, beautiful. And be specific, Deb. Tell him why you're going. Not just that you're going, but why. Who you're going to meet there. What kinds of animals? How many animals are there? Maybe there's 20 animals. Maybe there's only 2 animals. Tell him and explain to him, why are those animals there? And it's not about giving a sob story for in this case for Thumper. It's about they're waiting for their forever home. That's the way you present. They're waiting for their forever home. That's why they're there. We humans, we put together what's called a humane society so that we can help other animals that are not as fortunate in terms of having a forever home. And that's what those animals are there waiting for, their forever home humans. You did. Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Would like to connect with Skeety sometime. Okay, sweetie. Yep. You know what to do. You know what to do. All right, everybody. That's all the time we have. So again, I want to thank you for watching. And again, whatever questions you have, go ahead and post it. Check out my links below this video and make sure you are subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any of my lives, any of my short videos, any of my long videos. And I will see you next time. Bye.